check it out. Got my dash all hooked up to the AEM ECU. Everything's reading correctly. So now I just gotta get like a template for this thing made and get it mounted up in the car, and then later on we can get like a custom background and design made for the dash, and then I can put all the sensors that I want on here and just, you know, reconfigure it. But I did get everything up and going, everything's reading. Let's see, I'll start it real quick. Cold out today.
Really cold. Winter's here.
It's coming.
Snow tomorrow, man.
How are you doing, guys? Today
we're going to be doing some more work on the Red MR2. In the last video we did about this thing, we got the engine bay all painted and just started getting it ready for the new engine to go in. And as you guys saw, we picked up this bone stock K24 A4 for the MR2. And this morning I went to my house and I picked up my transmission that came out of the white MR2 back when I first K-swapped the white one. This right here is just a stock 03 EP3 5-speed K-series transmission. I got this on Craigslist a long time ago for 150 bucks. Gave me a good deal on it because it's missing a little chunk out of the bell housing right there. But I am not too worried about that. It worked perfect when it came out of the car. So we are going to be reusing that transmission in this Red MR2. And as you can see, we just threw a light layer of paint on it just to help clean it up. We got it all cleaned off and, you know, just made it look a little prettier before we throw it into the car. And then we also brake cleaned this block off and got it pretty cleaned up as well. Threw some paint on there just to help clean that guy up, even though I'll probably end up changing the transmission later on in this car, but that won't be for a very long time. For now, the car is staying pretty much bone stock. We're just gonna probably keep it at like anywhere from 400 to 500 horsepower. But this motor is ready to go in. The main piece I was waiting on was this guy right here. So inside this box, we have ourselves a brand new Clutch Masters 725 series twin disc clutch. I was really debating what clutch to get for the Red MR2 because I'm not going to be going for a whole bunch of power right away, but knowing myself later on, I'm probably going to want to turn it up a little bit. So I just went ahead and got the twin disc right out the gate, and I know I'm never going to have an issue with this clutch. My white MR2 made 450 with the stock motor, and it had a stage 4 single disc in it, and it lasted for a while, but it did start to slip. And if I ever try to turn this thing up like in the 600 range or more, I know I'm gonna have to upgrade the clutch anyway. So I just figured, you know, get this one now, get it over with, spent the extra money, so that's out of the way. And I think with these cars being rear engine, rear wheel drive, when you take them to the track, or even just like lower rolls on the street, I think they do put quite a bit more strain on a clutch than a front wheel drive setup would be. But that's just my theory. All I know is this clutch is gonna handle anything we throw at it. So that is done and out of the way. And then these are just the stock flywheel bolts that came off of this K24 right here. We went ahead and got the factory flywheel and clutch pulled off of that guy. So the new one is ready to go on. And then this right here is a factory serpentine belt. That is going to be going on before we put the engine in the car as well. This pulley I also grabbed from my house because this one right here on this motor is missing that idler that goes right here. It's kind of taken apart, so I got a complete one to replace it right there. One last thing that we're gonna throw on for now is I do have the factory power steering pump off of that other engine too. And the reason I'm gonna be running this right now is because I know if I put this on there, I can run a completely factory belt all the way through with no issues, and then we'll still have AC in the future. I do want to delete just the power steering somehow. I'm pretty sure they make a kit for it. I really haven't looked into it yet, but I would like to get rid of the power steering and just put like an idler pulley up there to replace this guy, and then continue to run the AC, because my goal with this car is to also make the AC work as well. But yeah, that's where we're at for right now. We also have this box, which we'll show you in just a second before we get the engine mounted up today. But we're gonna start with getting the flywheel and clutch onto our new engine right here. We'll get the transmission mated up to that, and then this thing will be ready to go in after we get the belt and stuff on. So let's get to it. twin disc clutch onto the new motor. We got the transmission mated up. We got that pulley on there. We got the power steering pump on. And then we went ahead and got the serpentine belt all ran. So that is just about ready to go inside the car. The last thing we need are the mounts, and that brings us to this box right here. So this is from Hux Racing. Huge shout out to them. If you guys remember, they were actually one of the very first companies to ever reach out and help the channel back when I first did the white MR2. They sent me mounts for that one when I first K-swapped it. And the white one has solid mounts because I did plan on going race car with it one day. So those are just 100% solid mounts. But since we're keeping the red MR2 a little more streetable, they actually sent us mounts that are filled with the polyurethane. And if we get right into the box, see right there, they sent us some shirts. So those are pretty sweet. I really do like the lime green shirt that they sent a long time ago. I still wear it to this day, but they sent us some new blue ones. Hux Racing, hardcore MR2 parts. Definitely be sure to go check them out for all your MR2 swap or info needs. We got a shirt right there, got a few of them. And it looks like they have all this stuff labeled for us. Front and left mount spacers, poly bolt kit. Those are right there. And then he also did include this line right here. So this converts the factory MR2 clutch line to the Honda Slave. So that will work nice and simple. I actually had to go get one of these made back when I did the white one, but they offer it now on their website. So that is all taken care of. Got a little pen, bottle opener, little flashlight, tape measure, Hux Racing. That's pretty dope.
Look at that, it has like a little face on it.
And he looks like he's smiling. And then right here, we got all of our mounts. So this might take a second to unbubble wrap all these, so we're gonna get to that real quick. All right, we just got everything unwrapped, and this is everything that just came in our package. What I was actually really excited about is they actually included their little shift cable adapter. If you guys remember the OG videos, I actually made my own back in the day, and it's still on this transmission right here. And at the time, this wasn't a product that they had available. I don't believe so, so I just had to make my own. But you can see I was pretty close with my design. This is a little more tucked down and cleaner looking, but mine got the job done. But we do have a new one to replace that guy right there, so that is really cool. So this will adapt the Honda or Acura shifter, RSX shifter or whatever it may be, to run backwards to the transmission in the back of the car. So that is awesome. We'll put that guy on there. Got some stickers, stuff like that we didn't show. I really like these guys. It's like the little cannibal guys eating the Honda logos.
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, like this one too. They're all like poking at the Honda logo, taking it apart. So those are cool. And then right here we got the mounts, and then we got like the needed spacers and all the hardware for them. So we are ready to go there. And then these are very similar to the mounts that are in the white one, except this one is 2-piece right here, and then this one's 2-piece, whereas in my car these were all just solid 1-piece, but now they're connected with a bushing to dampen that. And then this is basically identical to the one in my car, except now it has a bushing there, and same goes for that one. So we already know how this guy goes together. It's gonna be super straightforward. We're gonna go ahead and get the mounts needed onto the engine, and then I guess just lift the car up and slide it under there, and go ahead and get this thing bolted up.
So you're gonna bolt it up?
I was gonna say get it bolted in or get it bolted up, and I said bolted up.
Bolted up?
Bolted up.
We're
gonna get it bolted
in.
All right, we got our 2 side mounts on, so we are ready to hang this thing up, and we will get the other ones on after it is in the car. But one thing I did want to mention is that they even went as far as labeling exactly where the bolts go. So as you can see, all these have L's on them for left, and then this one, they all have R's on them for right. Then we have the others on the table right here. These have B's on them for the back one, and then these have F's for the front mount. So that is really handy. You know exactly where each bolt is supposed to go. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing lifted up, slide the engine underneath the car, drop it back down over it, and get this thing mounted up.
Couldn't resist.
Couldn't resist. The old
MR2 turbo setup.
The old trusty turbo that's been on all the cars.
Yep. Well, there it is. Got our K24 in the back of the red MR2. We still have to add the other mounts and stuff. Right now it's just held up by these side ones, but that is good enough for right now. We also went ahead and got the shift cable adapter put on there, the new one from Hux Racing, so that's done. And then we couldn't resist but to throw on the old log manifold with the eBay ball bearing turbo. Same setup that we had on the white MR2 a long time ago, and then we ran all this stuff on Hondru when we first got Hondru fired up. So this turbo has been through hell and back, and it has seen, you know, anywhere from 400 to 500 horsepower, and it's just been sitting. Yeah, whoever knows what Hondru made. It made 454 in the white one, and then Hondru probably made a little bit more. But we are going to be reusing this setup. Everything's still good with that. Just got to clean it up and make it look nice. Heater just shut off finally, so sorry if that was a little loud. We got our wiring harness right here. So this is just the stock harness that I was using off the white MR2 as well. So now that we got that new harness in the white one, we took that one off and we have it laying around to throw onto here and just keep going from there. I also have all my old shifter stuff, so I'm gonna have to pull out the center console, and I made a little shift adapter to go from the Toyota shifter to like an RSX one. I have a little plate that I made, so I gotta grab that from my house and throw the old stock RSX shifter I got in here. Just keep going from there, get the axles in, and then soon we'll be able to get her fired up and get her running. Yeah, we'll have this one line up with the white one, see how they compare, because realistically this motor, bone stock, should be able to make, you know, 450 to 500 reliably, because I ran the crap out of that white one. I literally had no oil on the dipstick going out to the meets because it burned oil like crazy, and that motor never blew up, and I freaking beat the hell out of that thing. So hopefully this one proves to be reliable as well. And yeah, really excited. Got to get the AC and stuff like that working, and we did our very best to keep it safe when we were putting the motor in. We did not nick any of the paint. We did a really good job getting it in here. We were really careful with it, and I still want to kind of take some of this stuff off and clean up the motor a little bit more now that it's in the car. Plan on getting a new intake manifold for this thing, and yeah, but she's in there. So that's it for today. So we'll come back later on this thing and see if we can't get this thing fired up here soon, but she still needs some work.
Which one do you guys like better, that one or that one? I like them both.
Well guys, that is going to be it for this video. We got the engine in the red MR2, so we're one step closer to getting that thing done. And yeah, I want to give a huge shout out to Hux Racing as well. Be sure to go check them out. I'll have their website in the link below. Can't thank them enough for helping us out with the mount kit for this thing and making it that much easier. The motor went right in. So yeah, that's gonna be it. So hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.